Let's do this. All right.
Here, or I've got a breached birth over here, and I can't run to all of these things because I have to deal with you and
lead on this decision.
Would you think submission is fair, Kadi?
I think submission is fair. Why not? I mean, I think there's a negative connotation tied to submission. Submission works both ways. So it's not even just about women submitting to men. Men should also submit to women. We all have our roles that we play in the dynamics of a romantic. Oh, Ham, don't start that shit. It's too late. Okay?
It's a two-way.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out.
I'm done.
It's a two-way street for sure.
So, Ish, what you think?
My question was just for B, in your scenario, does the man just decide that the family is just going to up and leave and the woman has to follow because that's submission? Or is there a conversation with her and saying, like, this is what I found, what do you think? And then are you guys deciding together?
So I could say for me, I'm the type of guy, I'm not a selfish person, so I would at least consult it with her. Like, I mean, it would be a little selfish. You come home from work one day and be like, okay, now pack up all the stuff, you moving right out here. I mean, throw it on the last minute. Okay, that's a little selfish. But the ultimate decision, it should be left up to me. I mean, that I do feel like when we look at it from a biblical perspective.
Right.
women should be seen and not heard.
No.
Right. So why y'all acting like my question is so outlandish?
Nah.
It matters what the wife does. If she doesn't do anything, then you can move. If you have something going on, you can't leave that behind.
It goes back to Shaun's point. Is submission fair? I mean, is that fair?
I told y'all, sis gonna have to pack up that job. Put your.
But why you keep referencing the Bible anyway?
Because
like you don't fornicate. Like don't pick and choose when you want to follow the Bible just because it's the point that you're trying to make.
So whoever's not married,
Well, how you know he's fornicating?
I mean that's what I haven't referenced the Bible until it came down to this point. Other than that, I think the majority of the podcast.
Yeah, man.
So is she no longer submissive if she says no and she doesn't agree with your point?
Now, what I would also say is there are factors I would factor in. Like, let's say she can't move to this particular pace.
No. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Repeat your question.
Is she no longer submissive if she says no? I don't want to go. I don't agree with what you're saying. Is she no longer submissive?
Well, no, that doesn't mean she is no longer submissive because then, again, like I was going to say, what about the underlying factors of why she could not probably move?
What if she doesn't want to?
Like a job.
Don't do it, B. Don't do it, B. Don't.
If she doesn't want to move, what's going on?
If she isn't going to move, then she isn't submissive. It's really cut and dry, and I don't believe it's fair. I don't believe it's fair either.
It's not fair.
Submission isn't fair because if you're deciding to allow another person to have that much sway, influence, say so, persuasiveness, then it isn't fair because you're gonna lose on your personal opinion. So it's not fair.
Submission does not mean that you have to go with your partner's decision every time. Right. That's just like saying
that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
But that's what you're saying. That's exactly what you said.
No, that's not. I didn't say every time. I said this submission isn't fair.
No, before that.
Point, with her scenario, when adding in now, what if the woman makes more money, right?
It's an important.
You then have to submit.
Well, that's the discussion in your household. Your husband and wife have to come up with, does her high salary equal a better outcome for our family?
Right.
She says, no, I'm the breadwinner. I pay these bills up in here and we ain't going.
And if everybody's miserable because she's the breadwinner, then is that a beneficial outcome?
No. So even if the spouse, let's say his spouse is the breadwinner, but she just truly believes in whatever he has going on, that also can work. Like, listen, I'm willing to leave my job, but do you have a solid plan? Like, right? So you'd have to prove that it goes back to being able to prove and be trustworthy that you have a solid plan. Am I willing to be like, okay, well, I'm going to give up this job, even though I know that it feeds me, you, and our kids, and I could follow you over to Hawaii to take this job.
That feeds
so that's why
you,
it's
the kids, and better education.
In his scenario, where he's saying that it was his wife and they have these kids in this imaginary family, on whether or not the woman works or not.
God. Y'all gonna fuck around and catch you a Ralph Angel. and be wrapped up in some shit and lose your farm because you want to be submissive.
Right.
Not me, sir.
I've had conversations with women who said biblical women who are submissive wives who said that if their husband choose to bring them into like debt and all the other stuff, even if she knows that he's heading down that road, she would pray about it, but ultimately it's his decision.
See, that's why I'm praying. I ain't messing with that.
See?
Keep your bank account separate.
No, ma'am. I keep my submission to truth
She
only.
said she gonna pray about going into debt because her husband is carrying her into debt. She gonna pray about
his
no one didn't say be stupid. Okay?
Praying about his direction
One at a
and
time.
leading
Listen,
the family.
listen, one at a time.
Because he is the husband, she's submissive and she's gonna follow him wherever he takes the family.
Oh, poor choice.
So she said, just to clarify, if he take them into debt, in the depths of hell, she going with him?
I don't think she's going to hell.
She gonna ride for hers.
I'm a stick
but
beside
as a submissive wife, and that's the title that she's holding on to. If she wants to change his mind, she's gonna do it through prayer.
Yeah, and just to clarify, the hell is a hard place, right? So people who know the Bible, remember Jonah, he said he was in hell when he was in the belly of the whale. So hell is just a hard place. Mm-hmm. So if the husband just brings them to hell, she said that she gonna pray about it and go with him. Is that what
she gonna follow her husband? Because he is the leader. He makes the final decisions.
That's a real person.
The husband
would, but that's submission. That's submission.
He doesn't have leadership skills.
But at the end of the day, a real man wouldn't lead himself or his family into debt. Again, you all are thrown.
That's not true.
That's to all the broke ass niggas around here. What are you saying?
No, that's not true. You making bad decisions doesn't qualify you being a real man.
Right.
That's not a qualification of a real man is not making bad decisions. You're going to make bad decisions. You're going to make bad decisions in your relationship. You're going to make bad decisions in your marriage. The point is, what are you going to do about it when it comes down to making bad decisions? Are you going to come out of this financial debt that Isha was talking about, bringing them down like that? Then that's a conversation you have inside your marriage. But if she's choosing to ride with him because maybe she hopes that he'll turn it around, they'll find a solution. That's still submitting, but that doesn't mean she's crazy.
Yes, it does. I mean, she can't pay them bills.
If she's only praying about it and she ain't making no extra payments,
I think that's a little crazy.
I don't believe in just praying it and sending it off to the wish list. Like, that's not real, right?
Wait, I'm confused at the question at the bottom. Submit on their job. What do we submit to?
So to read it out, people submit on their jobs all the time. Does it make you feel inferior, or are you accepting the role? Submit who you are is what you do. So I guess it's saying you have a boss, right? You would be your boss's subordinate, right? You often offer your opinion, but bosses will give directives and mandates that you'll have to follow, even some that you do not agree with. And we do it all the time. Do we walk around saying, my boss got to prove it to me? Have they proved it? We all been under bosses that they only was the boss because they was there first. You know, we have some incompetency, but we still accept our role when we go into that construct.
And what I
think that was the point of that
this current generation is people that are willing to get up and walk away if it doesn't sound right to them.
Exactly.
Right. So I think for